Now, the next slide is very technical. I just want to explain it the best way I can. We make an adjustment for what's called post-employment benefits. So this is the way things look as reported. 22 of assets, 8 of liabilities, 14 in net assets. The way they report unrestricted is positive 3.5. These post-employment benefits were added, GASB is Government Accounting Standards Board. And U of M realizes that this liability is not a real liability. It's really liability of the state. It's not really theirs. And so we make all these adjustments I have here. And the adjustments wind up being $3.2 billion. So what you get on the next slide is the adjusted unrestricted reserves. There's the 3.5. Let me slow down now. 3520054. That's what's reported as unrestricted on the balance sheet. The adjustment is right here in pink for 2019, 3.2. So the true unrestricted reserves is 6779640. And so in this analysis, when I talk about reserves, this is what I talk about. But let's look at what U of M says. So buried in the notes, in the management discussion analysis, page 34, the 2019 audited statements, they make the claim that, yes, we have $6.7 billion of unrestricted reserves when you add back they call it a pension adjustment. That's what they call it. But here's their claim. They claim that of the 6.7, 5.4 is tied up in the endowment, and they really only have $1.3 billion that's free. And let me explain why there's no way that is true. First, let's get into these general claims about the reserves. They'll say they're not nearly this high. They're restricted by the endowment. The unrestricted reserves do not include any funds restricted by donors, or they wouldn't be there. If there is a firm, no way you can get out of it commitment, the external auditors will put those funds in the restricted expendable category. The board may have voted for certain initiatives, but those priorities can be changed at the discretion of the board. Now, the last bit I have here, reserves can't be spent on recurring expenses, such as faculty salaries. Would be violating a fiduciary responsibility if we used reserves in a haphazard manner. We're not asking you to spend them annually on salaries. What we're asking you to do is to cover this very real, current, short-term, hopefully short-term crisis. If I had to give you a definition before this crisis started of what reserves would be for, I would have come up with this coronavirus. This is exactly what reserves are for. Why do you have them? Why do you have $6.7 billion in unrestricted reserves if you're not going to spend them now? There is no way that unrestricted reserves are this low, because there's no way Moody's gives U of M a AAA bond rating with that level of reserves. Not a chance. Absolutely no chance that that's all they got. And we'll see what they say, what Moody says about their reserves. So now let's talk about the bond rating. There is no way U of M only has $1.2 billion of restricted reserves. The administration claims 1.2, 1.3, depending on how you count. And this is what Moody's writes. And I'm getting to my favorite part. AAA reflects its consistent ability to translate its international brand into solid revenue growth, excellent student demand, and strong philanthropic support. Here's my favorite part. The university's large and diversified scale of operations combined with abundant, I love that word, financial reserves, abundant, $1.2 to $1.3 billion on $9 billion is not abundant. $6.7 billion on $9 billion is abundant. There is no way that when U of M goes to New York and meets with Standard & Poor's and meets with Moody's, that they tell them they only have $1 billion in change of unrestricted reserves. No way, no how do they tell them that. So they're telling them one thing and they're telling everyone else another, if you know what I'm saying. There's no way they tell them that. You don't get this AAA bond rating with that level of unrestricted reserves. You just don't. It's not possible. Stable outlook reflects our expectation that the university will maintain generally stable operations and excellent financial flexibility and solid liquidity. You don't have to believe me. I'm not making this up. And by the way, this is done based on the 18 statements, and 19 was a better year than 18. They also have a AAA rating per Standard & Poor's January of 19.